I got put in touch with a guy here in the U.S. who's now a really good friend, who is bringing the gravity jet suit to the United States. Which, if anyone hasn't seen or heard of gravity,
probably most people explain gravity.
Well, it's actually, I wouldn't be surprised. It's been a bit of a social media phenomenon now, where it's essentially, people are calling it the real life Iron Man suit. Gravity would never refer to it that way, but it looks essentially almost like Iron Man flying, where you have two jet engines on your arms. And then one big one on your back, and you can control where you go based off of the motions of your body. So it uses the biomechanics that we're born with as humans to control three-dimensional space, which there hasn't been any type of aviation device that's done that before. Of course, people think of the jetpack, the one that was in the 1960s Olympics, where a guy flies in on a typical Jetsons style jetpack, where it's just this backpack of jets on your back, and you control it with little throttles on your arm. That's not the case with this. It's engines that are actually on your arm, and then one on your back, that form a tripod of thrust that you can control whether you go up, down, left, or right by moving and flaring your arms closer together or further apart, and then left and right. So you really do feel like you're augmenting your own human body with technology to be able to fly around like Iron Man, which sounds cool probably for someone listening to this podcast, but just as soon as you finish this podcast, not right now because you want to listen to the rest, but right afterwards, go to gravity.co, check this out, watch a video, you'll be amazed, just like I was. So I started talking to one of the guys that was working on the US team to bring this to the US because they're based out of the UK in London, right outside London. And at that time, the main focus of the company was on using the suit to do flight demonstrations at conferences, giving a keynote speech, and talking about the odds that Richard Brown, the founder, had to overcome to build something that everyone said was impossible. Right around that time when I got put in touch with them, they were considering, how do we start using the suit for more than just flight demos? How can we potentially get people in the suit and train people who aren't pilots to learn how to fly a jet suit? So using the background of an outdoor adventure company that uses all kinds of adventure sports for personal growth and company growth, I was able to use that background to start helping Gravity pioneer this, what's called jet suit flight experience, that we're now bringing to Atlanta in the beginning of May. So now for the first time, people can actually put the suit on, learn how to do it. Of course, in a safe environment, you're attached to a tether system. Think of a small crane with a climbing rope coming down from it and a belayer on the other side. That's literally what it is.
Blast off the moon.
So you can't just fly up, right? We can actually set the power of the suit, so we can trim that down if we want. And we do have a kill switch. If someone is just blasting off a little bit too much, just press the button, brake on the belayer, you're good to go. So a lot of safety involved. You don't have to have a ton of fitness. You don't have to be a gymnast, but it does take a decent amount of coordination and control that way. But now people can actually experience what it's like to fly in the suit, and I'm pretty excited for seeing how that goes.
It's amazing. How can people, get involved with that May event? Where if people want to fly in a jet suit,
so the only way they can fly in a jet suit is if they go to iTunes, give a 5-star rating to this podcast, leave a great review, and then Matt will put them in touch with me.
You're my favorite.
Gotcha. And then I'll maybe consider it.
Okay. Love it. Cool. So, it obviously requires a bunch of courage to do something like this too. You have jets on your arms, you have jets on your back. You could blast off into space. You couldn't, but it reinforces a common theme with you, which is getting outside your comfort zone or pushing the limits of fear in order to experience more of life or learn more about yourself or whatever reason you're doing it for. And to circle it back to Brawl for a Cause here, that's central to what we do.
Absolutely.